Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Monday, November 7, 2022, and giving you match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos. And if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. The Pacers have won 3 of their last 4 games, but they haven't been as good at home where they have split their last 4 games. Even though they play well offensively, they haven't been as efficient in recent games. They haven't shot the ball well from long distance and don't rebound the ball as well as the Pelicans. They've also been very careless with the ball, turning it over more than 18 times per game in their last 3 games, which will spell trouble against the Pelicans, who are averaging more than 9 steals per game during the stretch, so expect them to struggle offensively in this game. The Pelicans have struggled in recent games and split their last 4 games. Despite their play, they are doing a good job offensively, scoring more than 117 points per game in their last 3 games. They do a good job finding the open man, and they're very aggressive on the offensive glass, which will lead to extra scoring opportunities for them in this game. With the Pacers struggling defensively, they will have a hard time slowing down the Pelicans, so go with New Orleans to cover the spread. While both of these teams are confident playing different styles of basketball, the high scoring is definitely the way their games have panned out in recent times, with the over being 11-5 for Indiana in their last 16 overall, as well as 36-17 in their last 53 home matchups, meaning plenty of points are scored when the Pacers hit the floor. The pace is pushed heavily by Halliburton, and with a high-volume 3-point shooting squad, the points can come quickly, so expect plenty in this one. New Orleans aren't strangers to high scores, as they are yet to score under 110 points in a win or a loss this season, and with the over at 5-1 in their last 6 road games and 8-2 in their last 10 overall, so the result in this one will come down to who can make clutch shots down the stretch. Take the over, 235.5 points. Philadelphia 76ers vs Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns are off to a good start and are able to come back after tough losses. They lost to Portland in the first game of a 2-game series and then proceeded to win by 20 in the second game. Phoenix head coach Monty Williams knew this team had fight in them and expected this out of them. The Philadelphia 76ers look a bit lost right now to begin the season, and having point guard James Harden have to miss a month of the season due to injury during it is not a good sign. They are getting beat by inferior teams and have an under .500 record right now. Head coach Doc Rivers spoke with the media about what the difference was, especially in the 32-21 fourth quarter deficit in a losing effort against the Knicks. The Philadelphia 76ers are struggling and I do not see the end in sight for them here. The Suns are one of the best defenses in the NBA, and the Philadelphia offense has not been doing well lately. Chris Paul continues to dominate as a facilitator as leads the NBA with 10.2 assists per game, and center Bismack Biyombo is a force in the paint with 2.3 blocks per game, which is tied for 3rd in the NBA. That's not including shooting guard Devin Booker dominating and carving up defenses. All in all, go with the Phoenix Suns to cover on the road here. Devin Booker is leading Phoenix in scoring with an average of 27.4 points per game, while DeAndre Ayton is the leading rebounder with an average of 8.2 rebounds per game, and Chris Paul is the leader in assists with an average of 11.0 assists per game. Ayton is the second leading scorer with an average of 16.8 points per game and one of 4 players for Phoenix, averaging double figures in scoring. Philadelphia looks to snap a 2-game losing streak when hosting Phoenix on Monday. Philadelphia is 3-6 and tied for last in the Atlantic Division, 2 1/2 games behind first place Boston. Philadelphia was defeated by the New York Knicks 106-104 on Friday. Tyrese Maxey was the leading scorer for Philadelphia with 31 points, but the 76ers shot only 37.8% overall and 27.7% from three-point territory. Philadelphia is without James Harden, and Joel Embiid has missed each of the last 4 games and is questionable for Monday. Therese Maxey is scoring an average of 24.9 points per game, which is first amongst active players, while the leading rebounder amongst active players is Tobias Harris, with an average of 6.5 rebounds per game, and the leader in assists is Maxey, with an average of 3.8 assists per game. I understand the Suns are an excellent defensive team, but both teams should be hovering around 110 points here, and that is going to have the over be in play. James Harden and Cam Johnson missing is going to affect the defensive rotations enough where they can get scored on, as these are two of the better offensive teams in the game today. Expect Joel Embiid to dominate in the post, while Devin Booker will be able to shoot without having James Harden get into a shooter's face. The Suns will avoid being in foul trouble as Harden is a master at drawing the foul as well. Go with the over as it feels right here. Take the over 216.5 points. Atlanta Hawks vs Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks have been an average offensive team this season, as they are just 18th in the sport with 112.9 points per game thus far and 23rd shooting 45.3% from the field. Their biggest thing has been the ability to get to the free throw line, as they are tied with the Brooklyn Nets for 9th with 24.2 free throw attempts per game. Defensively, they are dominant as they have an NBA best 101.1 points allowed per game and limit teams to just 33% from beyond the arc. They are getting their hands on the opposing shots as they are third with 6.6 blocks per game up to this point. The Atlanta Hawks have been doing well and are coming off of a 124-121 overtime home win against the New Orleans Pelicans. They were not too good at shooting from distance as they were held to 9 of 36, 25% with excellent shooters, but point guard Trae Young led the game with 34 points on just 9 of 26 from the floor. Defensively, they held New Orleans to 304% from 3 and did well defensively with 12 steals and 8 blocks as a team. They need to continue to bring that defensive focus into this game to win. The Milwaukee Bucks are far and away the better team in this matchup and should prove it here. According to the adjusted net rating provided by Dunks and Threes, these teams are not close as Milwaukee is 5th with a plus 7.3 rating, while Atlanta is 15th with a -1 rating thus far. These defenses are nowhere near one another in their previous 3 games, as the Bucks are allowing 95.7 points per game, while the Hawks are giving up 119.7 points per game in that same stretch. The Bucks are 8-1 at TS, while the Hawks are 4-5 at TS, so go with the Milwaukee Bucks to cover the spread in this matchup. Take the Milwaukee Bucks -3 points. The Bucks are on a franchise record 9-game winning streak to start the 2022-23 season, defeating OKC last game, with star Giannis Antetokounmpo on the bench due to knee soreness. The two-time MVP, who is averaging 32.6 points, 12.9 rebounds and 5.8 assists, is probable to play on Monday. Brook Lopez set the pace for Milwaukee against the Thunder, scoring 25 points on 10 of 16 shooting. Milwaukee knocked down 17 three-pointers in the win, as Lopez added 4 of his own. Atlanta nearly pulled out a road win in the first matchup between these teams. They were trailing by 10 with 10 minutes left, but came back to tie the game at 104. Down just 3 points with 23.2 seconds on the clock, DeAndre Hunter was called for an offensive foul on Wesley Matthews before the ball was inbounded, helping Milwaukee pull away. Trae Young scored 42 points in the game, adding 5 assists and 6 rebounds, while backcourt mate Dejounte Murray scored 21. The Hawks bench, which has scored the 4th fewest points in the NBA this season, was outscored 30-23. The over 6-1 in the Hawks' last 7 overall is in play in spite of Milwaukee's top-ranked defense. Atlanta has been playing well as of late and could have pulled off a victory over the Bucks in the first matchup when it scored 115 points on the road. That game exceeded the total, 228 points, as Milwaukee shot 49% from the field and the Hawks shot 45% from behind the arc. It's easy to see something close to that occurring on Monday night when these teams face off in Atlanta. The under has been profitable in Bucks games this season, but I'm expecting that to change against a Hawks team that can get it done around the rim with John Collins and Capella and from three-point range with Murray, Young, and Hunter. It's not easy to beat Milwaukee, as we've seen so far this season, and there's no telling how long their win streak should last, but I have a feeling it expires Monday in a high-scoring affair. Bet the over at 227 points.